Alright, VOD stalkers. This game is called Suzerain. You, rule a country. And it seems like it's gonna be neat. First attempt. All learning. You are my enslavement and my freedom. You are my flesh burning like a raw summer night. You are my country. I feel like this is going to be a turkey simulator. Mama? 1908, Kingdom Swordland. Oh, jeez. Turn off my alarm before it goes off. You open your eyes to this kingdom you came from. Let's go middle income. Your parents named you Anton as the child of a diligent, as the only child of a diligent civil servant. You lived quite an ordinary childhood. Life was not bad. You were lucky enough to attend a well-known public school. But frequent fights broke out at the Ryan family home. These made you feel uneasy. The years passed. During history class at school, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. There was a loud commotion outside. Everyone tried to figure out what was going on. The principal announced the historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Swordland was born. Maybe the day off. After graduating, you passed the university exam with high marks. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies. You chose law, economics, or history. History. During the first year, you attended a lecture with David Winsky. He was a well-known diplomat from the Foreign Ministry, the son of the president. After observing the hall in silence, he explained why realpolitik is important for successful foreign policy. He argued that a strategy based on practical and material factors would be much more successful in reaching Swordland's ambitions. Question everything. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening, ahead of the first election. Many were in shock as the uniformed men created security cordon and started arresting the teachers. Oh fuck. A group of students started gathering in protest, along with your best friend, Peter Vectern. You decided to join the protest. That's the whole point of a republic. One of the officers made a loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Suzerain declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms. You joined the students that slowly marched towards the large group of soldiers. Suddenly, the soldiers charged. The student fell and was trampled by everybody and started running away. Yeah, get out. Unlike the others, you were lucky to escape. It's a gloomy here, I'll say. The coup split the students with two groups, caused frequent fights. Torture and imprisonment of any opposing voice became a daily routine. You didn't want to stay idle and decided to join a political debate group. Dozens of debates helped you hone your oratory skills, while helping you grow your network. Hey, Kimi, Happy New Year! I'm playing a politics simulator. Feels Turkey/Balkanish. Even though the debates were pretty heated between different groups, you all grew from sharing ideas. One of the meetings, Peter introduced you to one of his friends, Monica. He was a volunteer at the Swordish League of Women. You were immediately attracted to intelligence. My roommate wandering around. The politically charged environment led you to socialists, nationalists. Let's not draw that line. The radio relayed that the communist General Ricard surrounded Lutheran and his troops, demanding their surrender. They refused. Heavy fighting broke out across the country. Just couldn't believe it. The army was fighting amongst themselves. Civil War! The clashes escalated into a full-blown civil war. The horrors made you isolate yourself for a while. Monica helped you cope, and love grew between the two of you. However, it was a difficult time for love. Chaos must end. It does, eventually, always. The charismatic colonel, Tarkin's soul, orchestrated a sudden coup and brought an end to the chaos. He wrote a new constitution and restored stability. The people saw him as a savior. He formed the United Swordland Party and ran as presidential candidate in the first ever elections. Yeah. So, this would be the chemist guy. After graduation, you kept seeing Monica and noticed her interest to marry. However, a letter arrived from the military calling you to fulfill compulsory service. It's time to serve your national duty. Bergia. Alright. This is very thinly veiled. Now that I know the history of the region. Devastating civil war broke out. A neighboring country, Felon. The distinguished mayor, Josef Lancia, ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. It was a very cold winter night when you began marching out of Gumrin outpost. You could see your breath. After several hours of marching through snowy hills, distant noises were heard. Visibility was too low to confirm the source. The squad crawled forward in formation and found a spot to observe. A group of refugees had made it from the border fence. You... let them through. After the patrol, Mayor Lancia arrived with anger and immediately relieved you of command, calling you disappointment. One of your squad members had reported the action. Fucker. After several months of scrubbing floors and punishment, your duties ended. Back to civilian life. Yay. Marriage. After receiving the blessing of her parents, a ceremony was held at the whole sort. During the same year, you worked hard to study to secure a high-paying job at the government of the United Swordland Party. It's much more difficult to start your career on good foot because of your refugee incident, but you still managed. Damn. I'd go back and change it, but oh well. That'd be a permanent regret. That is correct. All of those are good. You became the foreign policy assistant to one of the more experienced members of the assembly. You worked long and hard, studying late at work, reviewing documents of foreign policy plans. You're climbing the ladder. Seoul strengthened the Republic by removing the institutions and symbols of the former kingdom from society. Things were looking up for the country as the massive economic boom continued. and people were the happiest they'd been in a decade. Election time came, and it was decided. Second term. The preparation of the most comprehensive trade agreement with Agnolia was occupying most of your personal time. But your significant contribution to the trade talks triggered an invitation to meet the president himself, who offered you a key position. You were to become the youngest member of Assembly. Right away. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with an influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you brought Peter as your right-hand man. The birth of your son, Frank, provided a brief moment of joy and relief. You... family. During your absence, Peter found trustworthy contacts that strengthened your position in the party. At the same time, President Sol increased his authority over the years. His ego started to cause strife within the party. Cracks begin to sow. World War? Shit happening? I think it would be background, most likely. President Sol barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader. Over the past year, people were growing discontent with corruption, worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for a United Sorland Party Congress became louder as the leadership struggle started to brew. Do I backstab corrupt Presidente? Do I sideline? I don't think I'm going to support him. Join the opposition. A reformist, talented business magnate who was the main contender for party leadership. Meanwhile, in a desperate effort to secure votes before Congress, you're meeting with party members one by one, but he didn't approach you. That's actually probably a good thing. It means I'm not corruptible. The party congress was nothing short of impressive. Banners of United Sorland were decorated every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists, and benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting of the party leadership began. Vote for the new guy. The efforts bore fruit, as the contentious leadership vote was won. During the Congress, Sol announced his retirement from politics. He knew the structure he had established was to stay. The country had become increasingly authoritarian. I don't really care about who's in charge. A month later, your daughter was born. Monica named her Dean. She motivated you during a tumultuous period in the party. General elections were approaching you. The United Sorland Party was under new leadership of Edward Alfonso, who... yeah. During the general elections, the main opposition leader was embroiled in a sex scandal with his secretary, diminishing their chances. Oof. The extensive privatization program proposed by Alfonso secured an election victory for the United Sorland Party. Over the next years, you... yeah. Make the world a better place. Presidency of Alfonso saw many bold reforms, but was followed by a serious economic recession. The other parties announced their bids for the 1530 election, or 1953 election, but the unfair system hampered all opposition efforts to win. You... pretty...
You know, sometimes I amaze even myself.
Wishing you a wonderful new year, Darth. Less than 3.
Less than 3. Thanks for the biddies. Merry New Year to you as well. It's like the party's collapsing. We're gonna have an economic recession. The reputation's super important if I want to help either of those things. It's fucked. Politics is a fucked place. Together with Peter, presence in the USP grew, and you became the face of a new wing in the party. Effectively took over the leadership, as President Alfonso lost control of the country. College band. Call us Love in Theory. Shortened to less than 3 in theory. Less than 3 it. Nice. The moment to make a move had come. I'll advise him to step down. No reason to be a dick. Your diplomatic attitude made the party vote you in as leader. Haha! Don't be a dick! Following this, you announced that you were running for president in the general election. And Peter was your running mate. My turn to play the game. After visiting every city and town during the campaign, you made a speech on state television. You promised to preserve national values. Great nation of Swordland. Due to the incompetent leadership, enemies both internal and external are influencing our glorious nation. Today, more than ever, we need to unite under one flag and protect our values. Gracie Swordland. It's time to face the truth. Did I win? Probably. Woo! As easy as that. Good 30, 40 years of lifetime. My friend will be getting on soon. As Anton Rain. You've made many promises to the people of Swordland in order to gain their votes. They must be considered very carefully. Swordland's economy has been based on a planned doctrine since its formation, until the former president, Alfonso, enacted free market reforms. Now the country finds itself between 2 economic systems. Free market's probably nice if we're worried about a global thing. A planned economy is dangerous because corruption, government. Public corruption's fine. Government corruption, bad. Intensifying global rivalry between capitalist Arcasia in the west and the communist United Conta in the east is opening new diplomatic possibilities. Swordland could take steps to go either side. Capitalizing is good. Communism, dangerous. I don't know. It's kind of worth saying neither, though. Just for stability's sake. In the recent years, Bludish, Vezek, and Agnolian immigrants flocked here due to the relaxed immigration laws enacted by Alfonso. As a result, tensions between the locals and the immigrants are increasing. Yeah, that'll cause problems, but global community. We have also promised to focus on a certain extensive subject for our first term. People expect us to solve the negative situations with this topic while providing an overall improvement to the related policies. Health, education, law enforcement, and military. Education sounds good, seeing as the teachers were all rounded up and shot recently. Your promises will be remembered, and they will have consequences. Yeah. Hey, look at me. What a guy. 2 weeks have passed since I won the election. And now I was about to be sworn in as the 4th president of Sortland. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name, Anton Rain. I was cast, and there my story began. In the distance, the palace stood on top of the famous Hill of Pride. I had no way of knowing what the future awaited there. Oh, aw. I have a nice mustache. But yeah, this is grand. No way of knowing what future awaited. Looked at my family, my son, my daughter, Frank and Dina, next to Monica, my wife. Our eyes were glimmering with pride. Oh, cool. So I can click on things. Codex. Thank you people who made it all possible. Of course, each individual was promised an important position in my cabinet. Yeah. Oh god. I don't look at myself very often. It's weird to look at stream. Orso Hawker, Chief Justice. Do not worry. I fully accept silliness. It's not charging. Sorry, being lightly annoyed. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. This nerd, Hawker, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, was waiting on me. 3 legal theory. Join USB after the coup. Let's remember assembly. Ta-ta. Happy New Year. Speed reading. Ooh. So he did do some oppressive shite. Establishment partied. Nice. Time for the oath has come. Has indeed. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Sortland. To the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the people and the Constitution of the Republic of Sortland. Yeah, I'm in the Balkans. It is an honor. Dear citizens of Sortland, for many generations, this country and its long history have kept us tied to an idea, the idea of unity, and our people's right for a free and prosperous life. In the past, there have been times of survival, times of conflict and economic hardship, but whenever we stood together, we prevailed. Oof. Eliminate poverty. That's a fun one to do in your first term. Constitutional rewrite. That's a fun way to maintain eternal power. I did say I was going to do this. Yep. Our capacity as a nation has never been greater. Shouting my name in unison, I felt the responsibility, the power, the burden, all at the same time. Oh! A long look at the people of Swordland. This moment burned in my memory. When the presidential guards came by to notice me, it was time to leave. My way to the leading car in the motorcade. Presidential state car was a jet black Cadilla. The flags of Swordland above, the front headlights. Next to it, a man was holding the door. Hello, Mr. President. He is a driver. He's an educated driver. Seems like a good guy. Serving for 20 years. Sergey, your new driver. It's a pleasure. Pleasure's all but mine. Respectfully bowed his head before opening the car door and gesturing inside. He'll be headed towards the palace. Yep, his job, driver, bodyguard. Yada yada. He suddenly made a gesture towards a now closer palace. Isn't it a beauty? That's right. Maroon colored domes. Beating heart of the nation. Car drove past the majestic gates, continued uphill to the entrance, and stopped at the front doors. Sir got out of the car and opened the door for me. Have a great day, Mr. President. And Mogna. Mogna Veskar. Swordish phrase, times revolution. Morning will come. Victory is close. Victory is close. Made my way upstairs through the extravagant corridors of the palace. Marble engraved wooden finishes decorated the interior. My footsteps echoed in the colossal halls. The guards bowed their head in respect as I opened massive doors to my new office. Yay, world. Tranquil sea. Nation spoke of unity and focus on people's right for a free and prosperous life. For many generations, this country has long history tied to an idea, the idea of unity. So the new president for starting his first day. It's probably a bad idea to read the news, but oh well. 37% of the general vote. Jesus Christ. We're not actually in power that hard. Oh. Look, mood is very positive in the capital. All accounts on the ground. The city is celebrating. I have become president. The communists and the Workers' Party of Bludia, which I think are immigrants. Radical. Another USP president? How many times will people fall into the same trap? We seen this before with God of Soul. Supposedly save this country. Brought stability in times of chaos. I don't do that anymore. That hurts. Yeah. Honestly, should elect a new party, but here we are. This is all my country. I think these are each provinces. This is all in me. Convened right after the election. Congratulate our victory. All branches of the armed forces were represented in the meeting. Increasing chances of insert Eastern Macopia. Alright. Peter Vector arrived a couple minutes early and sat across from me, struggling to hold back his smile. He's my boy. We did it, Anton. We finally won. For all these years, our noses to the grindstone paid off. His eyes sparkled. The strain of the past months put a damper on his usual rakish charm. Today, he's looking and acting more like his old self. Loosened his tie, undid the top 2 buttons of his shirt. Joining the new secretary I picked out for you. You'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of your staff aren't as easy on the eyes. Oof. But hey, back in university, did you ever imagine we would be sitting here? Celebrate this great victory. Bam. 30-year-old alcohol? Whiskey. Proper. D24. Freshman year. The year after the revolution. Future awaits. Prost. Vanilla oaky taste. Personally, I'm drooling now. We should start all meetings. Get much done from our last administration. Yeah, can't fuck up again. Sure hope so. Door swung open. Lucien Gald, my chief strategist, walked in. A compact man with sharp bird-like features. After briefly surveying the room from wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, and opened his briefcase. A series of quick and graceful movements. Gentlemen. Tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Damn, exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Glad to see you. Privileged to be here. Start the meeting by evaluating the current situation. Majority of the people demand change. They're more concerned about the economy than the Constitution. They blame the system for their problems. They're losing their trust in our democracy. Frustration even causes some to reason with figures like, this nerd. A communist. Expected that we bring change to the government. The last government did not. Leader of the reformist believes that true change can only be done by transferring some of our powers to the assembly. I'll move in details shortly. That's very true. Strong government, make good changes, but listen to the people if we can serve the country. It'll be fucking tough. The reformist wing inside our party is a minority, but they have a majority of the other parties. See, this is American politics sucks ass. Yeah, I might want to make friends with this Mr. Richter. I want to limit my vetoes, ensure the Supreme Court is independent, take away the right to vote on constitutional amendments. Yeah. The old guards will be cunts about it. I need to be comprehensive. It's gonna be fucking fun. We have a bare majority of the assembly, and with the way this country is shaped up, we're gonna fucking hard lose. Like, party lines aren't solid. So we gotta reach out other party leaders. Get our draft. Back our draft. Step is convinced the justice of the court. The entire process is going to take fucking ages. Gotta start working. Yeah, let's give me some powers. Yep. Yep, we looked at in detail. Give me that a chance to override vetoes. Yeah, must be done. Like, I've got to do it. And are not open for discussion. Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments, and the president's absolute veto will be taken away. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing. Yeah. Another important point. We must be aware of the Lotharberg group. The oligarchs convene under this organization to influence economic policies. Ew. The rich people. Surely try to bribe us with special economic interests. Yeah. Have to talk to them. Just be hard, diplomatic. to understand and see if we can reach the middle ground. As far as I know, this nerd has some strong ties to this group. May try influencing it if we deem it necessary. You're gonna want something from us, but Marcel has a chance. Yeah. Only side with us if they see clear benefit. Well, that's why I'm leaning west side. The Westerners. Military and general staff is a powerful element in the state. History tells us a fucking dangerous one. I want to die in prison. Yeah, we have actual threats. Yeah, I want to talk to them. Patriotism shrouds their minds. He's a specter of the past. Defense minister is more loyal to us compared to the general. In fact, they can obviously change with our actions. Either way, I see a potential rift between the two. If we act strongly against the military, the two will unite against us. So we're gonna have to get Losif on our side. Is that Yosef? Oh, the gentleman. Precisely 30 minutes. Includes our political briefing for today. This meeting will be about media strategy. Yeah. Oh, God. This port is becoming not as important. It's the largest port in our country. Super important to our economy, and it is dying. Cool. Homelessness in that city. Alarmingly low productivity growth. Because of a lack of investment. That can be fixed with economic policies. I'll consider this our front colony land then. Congratulations. Van Hoorn. So we're going to do trade partnerships, equal partners. He's concerned of previous dudes being dicks. Congratulated. Partnership. Best wishes to the people and warned us about the threats of communism. So, So they're an off-map communist threat. Yeah, there was a huge shits there. Public opinion report. People's views on the need for democratic reform. The structure has changed over the last decade. Enormous propaganda from the leader of People's Freedom and Justice Party has resulted in a massive increase. 55% want diplomatic reforms. Good. Media strategy. Ha, business dude. Backstory. What does he want? Aims to become the next CEO of the super conglomerate. Wants productive collaboration. Yeah. Yeah, what does that fucking entail? Yeah. Oh, he's the media too. Massive media corporate conglomerate. Ugh. Influencing it, which has clear advantages, and the others keeping it independent. Gotta be independent. An unpopular leader will not be able to pass even the easiest reforms. So, just don't fucking make scandals. Science, supporting our agenda, or we can accomplish. Someone on our side, influential media organization. It's very easily. Yeah. I wouldn't. Knock knock. Come in. My new secretary entered the office. Don't fuck the secretary, Aiden. Excuse me, Mr. President. Yeah, what secretary's been calling. So now he's on the phone. Oh, ball's in our court. You go ahead. He's just elected CEO. He offered a partnership deal regarding his media branch, inviting us to the resort for a meeting. Yeah, that was fast. What do you want, Peter? It's gonna be another, this is the police game, isn't it? Oh, good work. Keep it up. Economics meeting. Yeah, Agnaland needs it, but the dock needs it pretty hard. I wonder what they're bickering about that. Oh, there's unemployment in the capital regions. Investing in the outer lands is probably still a better idea. Morning, everyone. Yep. Everybody's getting to work. Yep, great to hear. Let's start. Leave now. Meeting. Thank you. Economist is just shitty with people. That makes sense. Checks out. Yeah. Just fiddly bits of economics. Fuckery. And some developments about our port losing value. Recession of 51 put enormous pressure on our economy. And a collapse of the value of our currency, entire shutdown was a significant cause of concern for our administration. What would I like to know? GDP and debt doesn't matter too hard. That's the stats on the recession. GDP has dropped from 15,000 per capita. Fuck. Yeah, how's the unemployment? Unemployment skyrocketed to 16%. 7% is fine. It's relatively high, but inflation. Unemployment needs to be stopped. How's our debt? Not too bad. Boy, I'm inheriting a fucked country. Alright. Everything's negative. privatizing stuff. Oh, he left us with a budget. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, free market. Yeah. It's probably the best way to do this. this is in the weeds. Oh my god. I can only imagine the number of people who are interested in this kind of thing, and I'm one of them. Hello.
I'm alive.
Congrats.
My body still hurts me though.
Good. I'm balls deep learning about the economy of a made-up country, which is definitely not in the Balkans, even though this is definitely what it looks like.
Wakanda? Yeah, Wakanda.
I think this is like sword. So,
What, are you playing a game? What is it?
yeah.
First look at Suzerain.
Yeah, Suzerain.
Suzerain? Yeah, once I beat Borderlands, I'm probably just gonna download level 65 Moes.
Okay.
Because I don't want to level up 4 more characters to level 65 again.
Ah, yeah, Swordland. Arcasia. So hardcore America.
Why isn't Hex playing Borderlands?
I don't know. Somebody's messaged him, Mr. Ramen.
This isn't ramen, this is soup.
Mm.
Which I guess ramen it kind of is soup, but
Yeah, I don't expect us to become puppets of the Americans, but if we lean towards the communists, we're definitely going to communist puppet.
you're already a puppet.
Nah. We're sort of what Turkey was. I think we might be more, the other one. My names are broken. I don't know. It's just like, it's a mash of all of the different Balkans, and then you have the communists and the Americans, and it's, the 50s, post-World War II. Of course, they glossed over any of that, because it really didn't affect this country.
Yeah, I'm watching right now. I don't know what's going on. Your economy looks like shit though.
It does.
You're red barring. Dogecoin is going up, bro.
Good.
It's now worth a little over, almost 60% of a penny.
If you can't make change happen in 2 years, then you're at fault. Fucking Karen, Minister of the Interior. Yeah. Yeah, this is the beginning of my first term as president. It's
So you just started?
yeah, I've been playing for an hour, so yeah, I just started. This is a unnecessarily deep political simulator. I've already talked about our media presence, the general political state of the country. We only won with a 37% fucking vote, so we're not exactly the most popular, but we are the most popular.
How do you win with a 30% vote?
Multiple party system.
Oh, okay.
This isn't a two-party like America. There's like 6.
I mean, we got more than 2 parties here, just other parties don't get votes.
That's because they don't get supported by our government. Or recognized, for that matter. I mean, if they were allowed at the presidential debates and stuff, I'm sure they'd swing a lot more, but that's beside the point. So I watched the riots in Portland last night. You might have missed that with your outing.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
I drank way too much.
Well, I mean, I was sitting in my office slamming brandy, but yeah.
Like, I went to the party with like 3/4 a bottle of Jack, and supposedly I just started chugging straight out of the bottle at some point.
Well done.
And then supposedly Danny gave me some private stock whiskey from Schnucks, and I drank a lot of that too. I think I had apple cider too. Some other shit. Yeah, it was funny. I got home and I was supposedly talking to Mom, and she asked where the car was, and I told her I lost it.
Well done.
I lost it. Oh shit. Then she told me also when I got home I went downstairs to try to use the bathroom, and she said I got 3/4 the way down the stairs and I dove.
Well
like,
done.
what the hell did I do?
Oh, God. See, you gotta come to Vegas and party with me. It'd be wonderful.
I don't think I want to drink that much ever again. I'm hurting.
Yeah, I say that, and then a couple months go by, and then it's like, oh, well, here we go again.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, Lilius Graf, Minister of the Interior, you're fucking Karen and should be killed. Or at least voted out. I don't know how this country does Ministers of Interior. I would reshuffle her out.
Well, I just killed the one guy at the top hat again and got another clairvoyance. I don't think it's better than mine. No, not at all.
Game updated. Oh. Congratulations on making it to the end of part 1. This recording was about 2 hours-ish long, so we've cut it into 2 portions. Special thanks to the editor. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in part 2.